Hey, you guys, how's it going out there? It's the Brightside with Mikey and Rachel. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Mikey, and this is a show where we talk about Lindy Hop stuff and swing dance culture. And today we're going to talk about one important thing, which is when did dancing get so goddamn hard?
Seriously.
It's for serious. Like this whole weekend, we're at ILHC.
By
By the way, we're sitting in Rachel's and Brett's hotel room. Why do we always go to your place? Why don't you ever come to my house?
Your house is far away from me. It's really
It's
inconvenient.
far away from me. It's not far from me.
It's much more convenient for me when you come to me.
Let's be honest, it is. I mean, you guys have normal jobs. I have not normal job.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, what is normal?
What is normal? You know what normal is? Paychecks.
Paychecks are nice.
Yeah, when I get paid in cash under a table in a blank envelope, then you know something's
like,
a little weird.
"Heyo."
I feel like I should be smoking and drinking right now and just walk away without a word.
Little hand
Yeah,
slip.
little hand slip, like something taped underneath a table.
Yeah.
That is my life as a Lindy Hop instructor most of the time. Here's some cash. Put it to good use.
Get out of here.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're at ILHC. If you don't know what ILHC is, I have no idea why you're listening to this podcast. But if you are, ILHC is a dance competition weekend. It's one of the most prestigious and biggest stages we have in the Lindy Hop community. And we just finished an hour ago. Awards happened. And yeah, I got nothing. Did you get anything?
No. No, I didn't get anything. It sounds like a couple of losers sitting right here.
High fives.
Hey-o.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not so. I mean, okay.
It's not about winning,
I'm like, it's not. I mean, I'm all for not being a loser. That's fine. But like, when it comes to competitions like this, where a lot is on the line, like, I really feel like no one out there is a loser, even if you didn't compete. Like, I feel like you were a part of the microcosm that is happening in that little big ballroom.
That very large ballroom.
Yeah, that gives back and forth. Like, those dancers need the audience love and support because the audience usually gives it to them anyways.
Yeah.
But like being loud or clapping or anything goes a long way when you're up there because everyone is nervous. Everyone.
Oh, totally. Well, and even if you did compete and you didn't make finals or you didn't place, like, you can't be that upset about it because the competition is so stacked.
Yeah.
You know, the quality of dancing is so good out there that you're like, well, they might as well have won because they were super awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a long time since I've had to do like a prelims, and I really sound really shitty saying that. I know. Oh,
must
no,
be
it was
hard for you.
It wasn't that long actually. I did do one at ESDC.
Okay.
And that was for a routine. So you had to do the routine before, like they did this weekend. It was like a prelims, and then they only let in 5 couples. So out of 30 couples, we were one of those five couples. It was me and Pamela, and that was so weird because I'd never been in a prelims for so long. And the last time I felt like I was in a prelims was here at ILHC when they had wild card.
Oh yeah.
Like 3 spaces for the at that
For
point
the
they called it.
Invitational.
Well, they called it the champions, back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that one, and me and Nikki made one of those spots for that one. But yeah, so the stress is high, but like, and you could, I mean, you shouldn't be upset, but I mean, yeah, to each their own. But I feel like you use that energy instead of trying to be like a salty dog. Instead, maybe just use the energy and go like, okay, what do I need? How can I up my game? Because obviously there's some people out there that are upping their game. Because if you were in the finals before and now you're not, and other people were when they weren't before, well, then something happened.
Well, I think people who are coming from other countries, especially the Europeans, really up their game. They're flying all the way across the world to get here.
From the Europes.
They better win something, is what I'm imagining that they're thinking.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, maybe
they're gonna make it count.
But even then, like I feel like some of the people that are here, like I mean, for me especially, like I made my own way here. Like I'm not here working, I'm not here doing any kind of promotion. I'm here just to compete. So like the competition is already stacked in me. Maybe people should always have that feeling when it comes to this or any competition, as opposed to like, well, I'm just gonna do it and see what happens. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's great to have that kind of nonchalant thing, and then you won't get upset at the end for sure. But if you're coming to ILHC and you're just going like, yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens, like maybe that's not the best attitude to have. feel free to have whatever fucking attitude you want out there if you want to do this thing. But like for me, it's like if you're gonna get any bit upset about something, then maybe you should do something about it, or maybe treat it a bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting concept. There's been a lot of talk this weekend that the Americans just don't try as hard.
Yeah.
Or they don't seem to care as much, which I totally agree, because it's easy for most Americans to fly to DC.
Yeah. And
they've got a million other competitions they can go to. Most of them are not dancing professionally, so the stakes aren't that high for them. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, and but we talked about this before, but I think it worth saying again, like, it shouldn't matter whether you're being a professional or not. I feel like people are just like, I know for me, like this weekend was really rough for me because not thinking of professionalism, but thinking of just like I had an idea. And it wasn't quite ready yet. But the thing is, I needed to go out there and do it, not just for me, but for my partner, and to put myself out there and as a kind of vulnerable and just be like, hey, this is going to happen. I wish I had put more energy into it myself personally.
You're talking about your classic?
My routine. Yeah. My routine. I mean, all my dancing really. Like, I'm just in a funk a little bit. But at the same time, like, that routine, it's really good. I really like it. And it's really almost there. But at the same time, like, I had to bring it all together. And I messed it up. When I was out there. Maybe you guys will see it when you guys see the video, but or maybe not. But I know I could see it, but I have to, like, look past it.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing happened last year. I know I messed up one part, but I just, like, had to look past it and, like, reach for something. And I'm very proud of what me and Nikki put out there and what me and Laura put out there this weekend. But it also puts a fire underneath me, kind of saying, like, now make it better.
Yeah.
It's like, you did. Yes, you did good. We did it. Like, I'm talking to myself as though I'm another person. Mikey, we did good. We did good. Yeah, but I know. But no, I don't know. Buts. You will do better next time. It's okay. Move on to the next thing, or move on and make it better. And we're like, okay, I'm out. Yes, you are sorry. Yes, I am sorry. We should go for pho. Okay, let's go for pho. And a cookie. Okay, we're gonna go to cookie. I just had a fight with myself, and then we just resolved it.
What's really great about this is Mikey kept turning his head and moving the microphone for the different voices, like he was actually two different people. That was really fun to watch.
You're welcome. That was fun. And scene.
And scene. I felt that same way too, though. Like, I competed with Carl Nelson this weekend in the Strictly.
You guys look good. I did love your dancing.
Well, thank you. I did not feel good at all about it. I was like, I went out there and I wasn't feeling warmed up enough, and I hadn't danced yet at all this weekend, and so I just, like, wasn't in the groove of things. And then for the All-Star Strictly, dear God, those BPMs were ablazing. They just turned the fire up on us, and I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I haven't danced at all this weekend, and I spent like 8 hours yesterday on a plane, and now I'm going to swing out to 255 beats per minute.
It was 2:30. I clocked it.
The first one?
The finals?
Yeah. No.
Oh, in the prelims. Oh, I don't remember the prelims. Okay, my bad.
Well, it was like jumping to the Woodside. It's like 255. 240.
240. That's still fast.
Still fast. But I was like, I am not feeling good about this.
I mean,
and like I went back and watched it, and I was like, okay, it doesn't look as bad as I felt, but I can still see, like, this is not my best dancing by any means. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely do. So we're gonna analyze this a little bit. We're gonna dig deep in this. When you were dancing, what was, like, if you can recall the moments, like those 3 songs that you got, what was one point where you were like, like something he did, something you did, something that happened in the music? Do you remember being there and feeling something like, oh, that made me feel good, something positive?
There were a couple small moments, but I feel like I felt like the vast majority of the time I was like searching to connect with Carl. Like, I was just not on the same page as him. And like my feet didn't feel like they were moving. But it was fun, like the energy of being in the room, especially that final all skate where we were all swinging out at the end. Like, that was a rush.
That was a real rush, and especially because the audience was so ready for it. They're like, it was Friday, right?
Yeah, it was Friday.
It was Friday, and the audience was waiting for that. That's the moment that everybody just goes like, here it comes, and then it happens, and everybody's like, yeah.
And I love dancing with Carl.
Yeah.
He is so much fun, and when we swing out, it feels so powerful,
Yeah.
and so I can get a lot of momentum dancing with him. But I did not feel like I was.
Do you think
giving my best?
Do you think it was mostly? I mean, no, I'm not gonna give you the choice. Do you think it was that you didn't feel it at the moment, or you were recalling something before and didn't match them up?
I don't understand.
It's like, so you were like, you really liked that swing out from him.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel it when you were out there because maybe of something. But do you think it was you just misplaced it? You weren't in the present moment?
Yeah, no, I don't feel like I was present in the moment, which is always so hard when you're in a competition. Like, I think that happens a lot when you're social dancing. You're just thinking about other things. But when you're in a competition setting, it's like a make it or break it moment for you.
Do you remember seeing his face? Could you, like, if you closed your eyes or like just looking out, like, could you see his face in that contest?
Sort of, yeah. But I just didn't feel like I was connecting with him.
Yeah, no,
you know?
obviously. I mean, yeah. It's curious because I'm more picking your brain because I'm asking you these questions because these are the things I think about as well. But also I kind of, like this little conversation I just had with myself a minute ago, I have this conversation with myself in my head of like, okay, now what were the good things? What were the things that you positive? Can I remember being in that moment? Like this weekend, I can remember seeing Naomi's face smiling at me, or like when she creeped her hand up on me. I can remember seeing Laura's face smiling at me on the first swing out. I can see when Nikki gives me the side glance when we do this one trick. Like it's so much of that stuff that I can recall that makes me feel a lot better about it. And maybe in the moment that I wasn't. Maybe in the moment I was thinking about the routine or thinking about what I'm doing right there. But then also realizing later, I was like, okay, I was present in that moment. And maybe I just kind of like let it go with the adrenaline. But at the same time, like, okay, I can recall these moments.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I can remember his face. And like, Carl has like a fairly like confident and calming presence about him when he competes. Because he's been dancing for like, I don't know, 5 million years. Who knows? who even knows?
I mean, 50,000, right?
50,000 years.
Yeah,
right?
He's an old man. That's what you're saying.
So old.
So old with the bubble butt.
Oh.
Love you, Carl.
Love you, Carl.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, like your experiences out there, it's so common, I think. I don't think even the people that do it on a regular basis, like people that come from Europe or people that are here, or the pro levels of the weekend, I feel like they all have their moment. Like being backstage during the pro classic with everybody's still running through the routines just like everyone else.
Oh yeah.
Last minute things, anything you want to work on, getting warm, stretching.
Feeling nervous.
The funny thing is I feel like sometimes when I watch people backstage, like they're feeling nervous, but they start stretching, and I'm like, this is the first time you've ever stretched. Isn't it? Like you could just tell they're like holding a wall and then like kind of like lifting up their foot and like, I think I'm supposed to grab it here.
Like, how do I do this?
And then they're just kind of like holding it out and they're making an L shape with their two legs and they're just like, right? This is good, right? Or they're just like kicking.
When I was backstage, people were jogging around the perimeter of the floor
and try to get warmed up.
Yeah. Skipping, twirling.
Exactly. I mean, that thing happens on all levels, especially again, like since the Olympics just passed, like you'll see these people get warmed up, walking around, never sitting down, like moving around, like just trying to stay warm, like anything you can do. And that makes a difference. That does make a difference. That helps out because it makes you feel ready to go.
Yeah.
And more than anything, it helps your body get used to the fact that it's going to move really fast and get like traumatized basically.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it also gets the adrenaline easier to work with because it's going to start flooding in. And once you're warmer, it kind of burns through it just a little bit easier as opposed to the flood that happens, that can happen. And I've definitely felt that adrenaline a couple times like that, like too harsh. But yeah, so that's
How are the competitions for you this weekend?
I was gonna move on, and I was like, no,
we're
let's
just gonna
not
skim right by you and not even talk about it.
No. I mean, I talked about it a little bit. Like, I feel okay with it. Like after the fact, there was some moments before the contest where I was feeling very doubtful, feeling very down on myself. But I wanted to pick myself up for my partners, and I wanted to do my best, but also at the same time, like, I also have to remember that, like, they're in this with me, and especially in the routine and the Strictly final. Like, I haven't been in the Invitational Strictly for a while, just because I was like, dancing fast sounds difficult.
I'm 30.
I'm 31.
I'm 31. Do you guys even understand how old I am?
I've been saying this. I mean, but I've been saying this like we started the show. I've been saying this to everybody all weekend as a joke, but also kind of like, what do you think about it? Like, kind of like trying to gauge their feeling about what it is. Like, when did dancing get hard? So when I went out there with Naomi, like when we got there, it was like, when did dancing get hard? And she like stopped and like turned around, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I said something really bad. And then she turns it back to me like 2 seconds later and goes like, I want to say in my 20s, like. So when she said that, I was like, oh, woo. But like that, it made me laugh. It made me so cool. Like, it feels so easy.
Dance.
I feel really happy. Like, at that point, by the time we got that point of the weekend, I felt really assured of myself, like reassured of myself.
Yeah.
I talked to a few friends. Like I vented a little bit. I got my dance on last night.
Yeah.
That was super fun. And and so that dance felt really good. And also, just like how you said, like, Carl has the calming effect, like Naomi has this calming aura around her that she can create.
The eye of the storm.
She is like, oh my God. Like, I haven't danced with her in quite a while, and while we were sitting back there, we were like, when was the first time we met? And she turned around and asked me that, and I was like, I want to say it was before Harangue. Our first Harangue was in 2004. She went with me in that one too.
Okay.
And Nina did too. And I think it was like 2 years before that. It was at a Lindy Exchange in LA that was called The Binge. Yeah.
That's real long time ago now. Yeah, real long
time ago. And it was one of the bigger ones that like everyone flew in, because at the time, like, everyone from the California scene and the like Ithaca, New York scene was like, you know, Minnie's Moochers type thing.
Yeah.
And all those people, like, they were talking a bunch, and they like made it a point to like come out and like party and binge on not only Lindy Hop, but anything they can get their hands on. And so
hello.
And yeah, it was a little crazy. And I think that was the first time I met Nina and Naomi. I had heard about them before. I had seen this tape that a bunch of my friends, that they had passed, like a tape that passed from us to them and them to us.
Yeah.
And I got to see them dance on tape before I met them. And then I think the first time I met them, they were like getting dressed up, and then like they were fooling around with our friend Giselle, Naomi, and Nina, and they were like, let's get dressed up for this. And like they were putting on weird, funky stuff. And I walked through the door and I go, you guys aren't going to wear that, are you? And then I just walked out.
They didn't say anything?
Oh, no. They just like in shock, like, and then I had to go, like, I was like, I had this moment where I was like, yeah, that was a good choice. Like,
yeah.
I just remember being the kid and being like, you guys are going to wear that, are you? Like, trying to sound really cool. Like, oh, I'm such a dick. But anyways, like that's I was telling Naomi that I was like, yeah, that was the first time where I made fun of what you guys were wearing. She's like, oh yeah, you made that comment. You were such a dick. And I was like, yeah, not much has changed.
Yeah, I am a dick.
Yeah,
still
accepted, approved, and certified.
Thank you and sorry.
Yeah. So again, like, this weekend is a little bit up and down for me. A lot different from last year, and it's kind of cool. It's a good feeling. It's nice to know that this dance means so much to me that I can kind of move around feeling up or down on it. But I realize using that energy, like I can it helps me create, like I said, it creates like a fire underneath me, and it kind of makes me want to burn it off by doing something, by creating another dance for myself or others, or just trying something out for my own dancing.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite moments from this weekend?
That's what I was going to say. Like, that's what I was going to lead into. And like that kind of feeling, I feel like I was on this wavelength with everybody else, a lot of people rather, that the solo Charleston this weekend, the solo jazz Charleston thing was so intense. Like, everyone and their mom was in that room for the prelims.
When they called out all the competitors, I was like, dear God, this is a stacked competition.
It was intense. There was a lot of like first timers and then like seasoned pros like doing that, and it was crazy. Like, the last time I remember it being like sort of stacked like that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the last time. So this year, seeing that happen and like hearing everybody talk before it happened, I was like, everybody's on the same thing. Like everyone's trying to, like everybody just felt like solo jazz is a thing that I just want to feel. And that happens from year to year.
Yeah.
Like that happens, like everyone is on like The Chase, or everyone is doing like this surprise swing out like crazy, you know, and this year just happened to be solo jazz. And that solo jazz prelims was insane. It's really hard to see everything. It confuses me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so many soloist dancers feeling so many different things and emoting so many different things on the dance floor at once. And
It's hard to see it all.
it's hard to see it all. And so in the finals, that was even crazier because I'm like, wow, there's some people up that I was for sure thought they were going to be up there and they're not up there.
Yeah.
And then there was some like really surprises up there. And I mean, like everyone did very, very well, I think, in the finals. And the winners was a bit of a surprise to me too, a little bit, but not too much.
Who won the solo Charleston? It was Remy.
Remy won, and I thought he did great. I thought he did awesome.
He was great.
But I really thought like Vincenzo really killed it. Like I really thought, and he didn't even place.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
My personal favorite was Mona.
I mean, here's the funny thing. Like I feel like a lot of girls said that, and I'm not just pointing. I'm just like, there must be like another like feeling that like Ramona really gets this like woman empowerment thing, and everyone really loves it, and I'm just like happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad. I can't understand it
like,
myself.
Jump on board.
Yeah,
and be like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Girl power, totally. But I respect it, and I see her movement. It's great.
My favorite moment from the finals was
my
favorite moment was she came out and she was right in front of the judges. And she was doing like these tacky Annies and just like put her arms out and lifted them up. And the way that she looked at the audience and engaged with everybody, she was like, I'm on fucking fire and I own this room. So much power came from her face. And that was when I was like, she has won this for me.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's the best thing. Like, yeah, there's trophies and money and like that's the glitter and fame, but like if you can win the audience, that I think means a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think for sure. I mean, she didn't place as well, but like you're not the only one to think this. Like
she was my favorite for sure. I mean, Naomi too. This is something that I really noticed about the solo jazz competition this year was that something that I have been seeing from a lot of the professional instructors recently is their performance quality and how much it's improving because Naomi as well came out and just sold the show to the audience. She did not care about the judges. It was a show for the audience members, and she put on a great show. Yeah. She had so much presence when she was on the floor.
She really did, and I mean, like we talked about it last time with our favorite moments from past ILHCs, like her doing the cabaret by herself and captivating everybody like that. That is a real skill that she has. Like there's something innate inside of her that just is able to control that. And I feel it when and I think any leader would feel it when they dance with her or see her perform. But especially when you dance with her, like she's there with you. She is there with you. And like, it's not, and I hope this doesn't come off as any bit demeaning, but like she is the follow in the best way possible. Like, exceeds that beyond the follow. Like she's there for you. She will follow everything you do. But then on top of that, she's gonna add just like, it's all right. You good. Yeah. You good. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And you good too. Good. Thanks. Like, you know, it's that just like kind of like, it's almost like a mom. She's gonna be a great mom. Like she's just gonna be a great mom. She's like, that baby's gonna start crying, and then she's gonna go, you good. And she goes, the baby's go, all right. Back to sleep.
You're right. I am good.
Back to sleep.
Yeah. They I just really noticed because there were a couple people who went out there and they didn't really look at the audience. Like they were either looking down or they were looking to the side. And there was never a single moment where they looked out or like looked at me and engaged with me as an audience member. And I think that makes a big difference in the end. Like both Naomi and Ramona looked right at me and I was like, oh, it is on. It is on.
That's so cool. I mean, that's what it's about. Again, like talking about like the audience and everything is you can give so much more back if you're not paying attention to the judges. Because the judges, like some of them will smile back or like emote something, but most of them are going to be like,
most of them are stone cold.
I am judging you. I can't feel anything.
Yeah. No,
I mean, it depends from person to person and from contest to contest.
I have to say, One of my favorite moments from the judges this weekend was watching Faulty watch the juniors.
Yeah.
The entire division, he was bouncing up and down in his chair to the beat of the song, tapping his feet, jumping up and down, giving them a standing ovation. It was
Every
such
time.
a delight to watch him.
Yeah. I mean, those juniors really did deserve it. Like, some of
yeah,
those,
for sure.
some of those kids out there, and this is like, I think it's every 17 and below is the juniors. I'm pretty sure, if not 18 below.
Yeah, I think it is 17
I can't remember.
below.
But either way, like these kids went out there. Some of them, one of them went out by themselves. Ava went out by themselves from Ukraine. There was three girl couples.
Yep.
Both people out there were female, and that was so cool. Like to see that they didn't care. Like they were dancing with each other.
Oh yeah, they were just having
like,
a ball.
Who cares? Like we're two girls, but this person's gonna lead, and then they would switch, and this person's gonna lead, and then they would switch, and
yeah,
it was just so good to see that the next generation doesn't have that like phobia that not our generation had it, but like maybe some past ones had it a little bit too much, and that traditional sense doesn't really mean anything anymore. This is the new traditional, whatever you want.
Yeah. Also, those juniors were just really good this year.
Yeah,
there was not a single one where we were like, oh, yay for you for trying.
Yeah.
We were like, damn, that was really good.
And not that I care. I mean, if it was a judge or anything, like not that I care about this, but like as an audience member, I was like, oh my God, those kids look so cute. They're sharper dressed than I am.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, I should have dressed better this weekend.
They were, I mean, adorable comes to mind, but also just sharp and like sassy and just ready for a stage. Like they were ready to be like, I'm going to put on a show. And there was a big group from Cleveland, like Cleveland Junior Jitbugs with Valerie, and there was a big group from California, Northern California, with Matt Ritchie.
Yeah.
There was a group from Baltimore with Mobtown, and there was a group. There was the Ukrainian girls.
Yep. And then there was someone from Phoenix as well.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Yeah.
Right, a couple from Phoenix, and then there was another one that she didn't do the youth one because she didn't have anybody to do it with, and we didn't really know is Emily from Orange County, from the teachers at Atomic. Yeah, she did a pro-am with Shaysha, and she also made finals in the Open Jack and Jill.
Oh.
Yeah, that's super cool. She is amazing. She helps us, me and Nikki, work with our junior Jitterbugs back at Atomic.
Yeah.
Flourishing. Like she is so great. She's got that, that voice that's like commanding but not threatening.
Yeah.
She has that voice, and I'm just like I help teach the class. They teach a little bit of it before, and then I teach the majority of it. And then after, I give them notes because there's a couple of different girls, and they're all young girls. So I'm like, okay, here's what you did. Here's what you can work on. Here, try this maybe. Try
from
this.
A teacher's perspective.
Yeah, just giving them. So it's like it's not only just junior jitterbugs for like little itty bitty kids like below the age of 10, but like these teenage women that are starting to come up and have their own idea of the dance.
Yeah.
And not that I'm helping to form it. No, I'm just giving them ideas and seeing what they do with it.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so I'm very proud of Emily coming out for the first time to ILHC, doing the pro-am, and then making the finals. Like she did great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the rest of the juniors out there, they did. I mean, like there was the Swedish couple that won. I mean, they put in so much work. They already have a strong tradition of like in the boogie scene and also just swing dancing and just celebrating it and making a big sport and spectacle of it. Which we don't kind of have too much here in the States. This is about as close as we get with ILHC. But, I mean, with this program, we're working our way to getting to that point where we can get these kids around the age of 12 to 15 swinging out hardcore to, like, jumping at Woodside.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, like, for me, that's, like, a personal thing. Like, I'm like, we can do it. We can make them do it.
We can get this done.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, have you taught kids before?
Yes, many times. Many. I spent years and years teaching kids.
Then like if they do want to go faster. Maybe they can't do it like the best, but they do. They're like faster, right? Yeah, faster. Like especially little boys. I mean, like that's what they do.
Man, yeah. I taught Taekwondo for God, I don't even know how long. Maybe like 10 years or something. and I taught a lot of young kids, and I was like the only teacher with like 50 kids or something. It was a wild ride.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they want to listen to you, and they want to have fun and like get better and do the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. And I was telling, I taught the youth classes, so it was a bunch of those kids. There was, I think, around 30 kids in the program this year. It was the most they've ever had in for ILHC.
Yeah.
And here what they do is they help them come to ILHC. They put them in a room together so they can all meet and have fun and like meet each other from different parts of the country. So like they know that there's other kids out there. And then on top of that, they give them their own lessons. So
That's
after,
so cool.
after all of the lessons of the day for everybody else, all the rest of the attendees, they have like 2 to 3 classes a day on Saturday and Sunday, so 6 hours with anybody, with all the pros, basically. And me and Laura got to teach them this weekend. And Laura's like, what should we do? I was like, treat it like a regular class. But like, should we plan anything? I was like, yeah, like some swivels would be great. You never know how much they know. Like we can just add on top of it. Just treat it like a regular class.
Yeah.
You just gotta not curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what we did. We walked in there and it was so much fun. They were so attentive. And like the thing that I've learned the most about teaching dance to these kids, and maybe it's the same thing as like in Taekwondo, which is probably the same, is that they don't have the best motor skills just yet.
No.
But they can learn something because they're in school. They're used to that kind of idea of like someone telling them what to do and them trying to apply it almost immediately, which adults kind of lose over time.
Well, and they're also children are sponges.
Yeah.
They're just processing everything constantly. Like adults, like it's like once you turn 21, your body starts decaying. Or
Exactly.
We're all just like dying
slowly inside. Yeah, exactly. But kids not dying just yet.
Not dying yet.
But yeah, and so the thing is like for me is like a kid would take the information, apply it, but then they can't really retain it too much afterwards. When adults, they can take it, they can try it, they can't really apply it so much, but they can retain it a lot more.
Yeah.
Than a kid can. So it just kind of grows in 2 different ways, but that's something I've learned teaching the kids over some time.
Yeah.
Besides that, I mean, the juniors showcase was cute, adorable, inspiring, and so heartwarming to know that our dance is continuing.
Yeah.
With so many young kids and so many teenagers.
Yeah.
Because like
it was mostly teenagers this year.
Yeah. Were you a teenager when you were dancing when you started? No. So you didn't have that angst.
I mean, I was 19 when I started.
Oh, so you were kind of past it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like when you're that 15 to 17 age, 18 age.
No.
Yeah. Where it's like yeah, I do Lindy Hop, but like it fucking sucks. Like whatever. Like this club won't let me in. I know they're like 21 and over, but like I'm 15. I've been dancing for like 3 years.
I was a very angsty teenager, but unfortunately I was not dancing at that time.
I was, and that's like probably something that really did come out of my mouth when I was that young. With my cousin,
we can only imagine.
Me and my cousin would roll around Orange County in one of our cars, and we'd just be like, "Yeah, where we're gonna go?" But if you try to sneak into TJ's, you know, and Shaysha and Nikki were running it, and they were older than us, and we're like, "You fuck these guys, they're not letting us in, whatever." And like we would sneak around the train tracks.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and then climb the fence, the 6-foot fence, and then climb on top of the terrace. There was a little terrace there, and then open the door, and then like sneak through, and just be like, sit there for a little bit and like pretend like we've been there. And at that point, I didn't really know Nikki and Shaysha. I just knew of them, and they kind of knew of us. And like we snuck in a couple times. Like I only did it twice. They never said anything, and we would just dance the whole time. Oh man, it was shitty. It was a shitty thing to do, and now they're my friends. Everything's fine, everybody.
The mischievous side of Mikey is never. It's always been there.
It's always been there. It has never
since the womb.
It's not gonna go away anytime soon. I've accepted my little brother.
We're sure of that.
Yeah. So moving on. I mean, there was so much. Let's talk about the Pro Classic just a little bit because there was so many double ups.
Yeah.
So many double ups. So Remy and Elise. Yeah. And Remy and Ramona. Then Elise and Philippe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then it was Nick and Nikki.
Yep.
And then me and Nikki.
Yep.
And then also Andreas and Marie.
Yep.
Of course. They didn't double up, but I got to mention them, of course. Am I forgetting anybody? I think that was it, right?
Yeah, I think that was everyone.
Yeah, I think there was only 6. Yeah.
It was a small division
Seven.
this
There
year.
were seven. There was seven. Yeah, but it was really cool. Like talking to those guys, like it inspires the shit out of me. Like watching my friends go up there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do 2, and they're nervous, they're crazy, but they're like, I gotta do it. This is what I want to do. This is what I plan to do, and those routines were so intense because they were so polar opposites from each other's, all of them.
Well, and they were all really good this
Yeah.
year. I just really enjoyed watching that division.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was Remy and Ramona won. Then it was Remy and Elise got second. And then it was another couple that I'm forgetting.
I don't remember who got third.
Which is, I want to say, Michaela?
Ooh, I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know who it was.
I forgot. I forgot what third was.
But okay. Remy and Ramona's routine. Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was intense.
It was so good.
So here's the thing.
It was so good.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna give a little insight on this because
Mikey's leaning back and crossing his leg and getting comfy in this armchair here.
I'm getting comfy in his armchair, everybody.
He needs a smoking pipe now.
Let me get my drink. The thing is I talked to Remy a while back in May.
Yeah.
Back in May, and no, June. And he still wasn't done thinking about what he was actually going to do in that routine. He just knew he wanted to do it. Yeah. That Nina Simone version. And we spent like an hour looking because I thought I'd heard another version before. Yeah. And I was trying to tell him, I was like, there's another version. And still no. He was still just going for it. And he's like, no, I want this one. I was like, okay, fine. We'll just go with that one. And I was listening to it and he's like, it's corny, right? And I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, yes, it's corny for sure because we've had that song for so long, and other people have tried to do it in the groove era of our Lindy Hop culture today. But then when he brought it up and he made me listen to the whole song, like I was like, no, man, I can totally see you guys moving like this and making something completely fun out of this. And today, after watching the whole thing and thinking about it, I'm like, when you think about it, there's only a certain amount of songs that are really danceable. Yeah. And we're going to start reusing them. And I think we already saw it actually this weekend with some of the team routines that did the last jump. Yep. 2 songs that we'd already seen before. Or 1 song that we'd already seen twice this weekend, and then we'd already seen the Silver Shadows do it before. So there's something to be said. It's reimagining the song, like reimagining the idea, what's going to be in the song, what's going to happen. So like I've seen that Nina Simone song before, but now they did it in a whole different way and it makes sense and it's completely separate from how they did it before. Yeah, I completely agree. And as soon as the song started, there was not a single moment of me that was like, wait, are they actually going to use the song? I was like, oh, they are using the song. Yeah. And that's the thing. Remy told me, he's like, he was scared up until the first note happened, and then the whole audience like gave a breath, and he felt it, and he said he got goosebumps, and he was like, "Oh fuck yeah, this is gonna happen." Oh. Yeah. Like he's telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, "Are you serious? Like you really feel this?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm a human too. I have wants and needs, and I really wanted that to go well for everybody." And it was that motherfucker is so inspiring. And so drunk right now downstairs. I bet we're missing a party. But like, you know what? It makes me feel good to hear how like nervous and insecure he is because, first of all, he's like an amazing dancer. Yeah. But there have been so many times in my life where I feel insecure and nervous about a routine. But when they go out and do a song like that, I always imagine them being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill it with this song. Yeah. I'm gonna change the world." Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's so funny. Like, I think in some level, everybody goes into a routine like that. I'm going to change the world. And they start working on it. And then they're like, oh, no. I don't even know if I'm going to dig a hole in the world. Like, you know. Did I bring my shovel? Yeah, exactly. Did I bring my thinking shovel? Like, I can't do anything. It's only plastic. Yeah. It's the size of my thumb. It's a spork. It's a spork? Question mark? Hashtag it's a spork. But so the thing is like they started working on it, and it was a lot harder than they thought it was going to be because they had a couple misconceptions. They didn't really like where it was going, and then it just kind of clicked towards the end of their session.
Which is when it usually happens.
Yeah, but the thing is, for them, like they were so on point before that their past routines would take like an hour or two.
Really?
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. I know. And then this one took a whole month.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, every time I've choreographed something, it's taken like a couple months.
Yeah.
or it's like taken a couple months and I've scrapped it because it's too terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And it's rough. It's rough, but like for them, I think what comes down to it, maybe, at least for me, like when I think about routines, it's like stuff I've used with this person I've danced with.
Yeah.
And like chunks of ideas, and then we try to kind of fit them together and then rearrange them or edit them and the kind of transition and see how they fit. So I think that's what they kind of did, but also there was a lot of new stuff, of course.
Yeah.
But they love playing with rhythms. So they had a ton of rhythms in their pocket that they could play with. They just had to like flesh out and see where they can fit in there.
Yeah.
And they worked so well. It
was great.
Yeah.
It was so great.
And then the contrast of that is Remy and Elise. It was like fast, powerful, like crazy, like
super fun.
Super fun. I mean, it was so intense in a different way. Like the other one was intense, like because it made you like come into them, and then the other one was like so intense because you were like wowed by it, and you're kind of like taken aback, like that was a lot of energy you just put in that routine.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Elise and Philippe, which was like completely like it was more of like a traditional, what we'd say, Lindy Hop like routine. Nothing like that we've ever seen before because Philippe is a brand newer dancer.
Yeah.
But he's got really something special to bring out there, and he's got this like really happiness, joy, like happy puppy. He's like always like, yeah, let's go this way. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go this way. Okay. Like it's just
we're going this way.
Yeah. We're going for a walk. We're doing it, everybody. But in Brazilian, Portuguese, so he's like
in Brazilian.
I swear, I'm not that brown. I'm just sort of brown. Okay, but yeah,
okay.
So that was. But I like that routine. I think
it was great.
I think it's really cool to see someone like Elise, that's like a seasoned professional that has done so many contests and so many routines, and Felipe that is relatively new.
Yeah.
But to see him move through the years, because I've seen him like the past like 4 years. I think the first time I really noticed him was back in Lindy Focus, and then I was like, oh, he's got something special. He's really rough, but he's got something special. And then so it's been nice to see him kind of float through and then like see
kind
where he's gotten
flesh
to.
his skills out.
Yeah. That's really fun to watch. And what about you? What was your favorite part of the classic, the pro classic? Oh,
it was Remy and Ramona for sure. That routine was so great.
Yeah.
It was so great.
It was this I mean, that motherfucker just tries anything.
Jeez.
Both of them. I mean,
both of them are amazing dancers. God.
I mean, do you got a little girl crush for Mona here?
I do. I've got a big girl crush for Mona. Every time I watch her dance, I'm like, good God, she is amazing.
Yeah.
She is super clean. She's so genuine when she's dancing on the floor or performing, and she's super creative, so rhythmic. How do I buy that?
How do you buy that?
How can I be just like her?
You spend a lot of money on Brazilian butt lifts, and then you you enlarge your torso by another foot.
So I need to grow taller. Is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, and then grow up with hippie parents.
That did not happen to me.
Me neither.
That did not happen.
Yeah. Seriously. So let's move on to something else. Let's move on to what is traditionally called the Pro-Am, but this year has a little bit of change.
It was called the Jo-Am because Jo Hofberg swept it up with all of her AMs.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. So she had 4. Unfortunately, one of her amateur leaders had to drop out. So she had 3. And there were the only 3 lead amateurs in there. So
yeah.
So you could basically say Jo won all of it.
She won all of it. All of her amateurs got first, second, and third.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, when I was watching the competition, I was like, I think all of her amateurs are going to place. I really do.
But there wasn't any.
Holstrom's routine was great.
Yes. Yeah, it totally was.
It was so fun.
Was there any other amateur leaders besides the three of them? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like there was.
Yes, because Lainey Silver was in there.
That's right.
With her
I
amateur.
knew there was one. I forgot about that.
Was that the only one?
I think that might have been it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have to say, all joking aside, Joe is amazing for doing all three of those at the energy she did it at.
Oh my God.
And almost consecutive.
And the costume change.
One costume change, which I was really hoping for 3 costume changes. Like one more just at the very end when they walked out.
Joe.
Come on. I mean, Joe, you're slipping just a little bit. But she's a beast. Like she put so much energy into that.
Two of those routines were very high energy.
Yes, for sure. I mean, but at the same time, like she didn't like take a back seat.
No, she didn't look phased at all.
Yeah, it was. I was blown away by that. I mean, also the leaders, of course, like doing those routines weren't easy. None of those routines were easy.
No.
I would consider them, and so it just ups the game for everybody else to hoping to get into that pro-am. Like you're not gonna get away with just going like swing out and smile at the crowd. Like you're gonna you have to put in some effort and you have to try some risks. Like I feel Lindy Hop, if you want to call it another thing, like the dance with risks.
Yeah.
Like you're going to throw somebody in the air, or you're going to throw yourself in the air. You're going to jump over somebody. You're going to, or slide, or do something that could possibly make you fall. Like, come on. Like this shit is crazy.
That's something that I really respect about Joe is that she takes her job very seriously, and she was there 100% for each of her leaders.
Definitely.
And I think that's so awesome. There was no phoning it in at all.
No. And so congratulations to everybody on that one, like especially on the pro-am, because I know a lot of people like really try hard to make a good product.
Yeah.
And not just have it be like showing off just the amateur. Like you got to show off the partnership. Yes, part of it is showing off the person that's being judged, but at the same time, like you got to make it a full dance. It's a partner dance at the end of the day, right?
Hey, I just want to let you know that Lindy Hop is actually a partner dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's actually 2 people.
No.
And they connect with each other. Yeah.
I always thought it was just one person holding on to a fake, like,
I know.
like a mannequin.
I know,
arm.
common misconception.
I know. It is. It really was. Like when you were dancing with Carl, like all I saw was like a mannequin with
mannequin arm.
Yeah, mannequin arm with like a small butt right there, and that was.
Well, his arm is chiseled enough that it could be a model arm.
I mean, seriously, Carl, all those arm length thing. What arm training? What I don't even know what it's called.
Circuit training.
Yeah, arm trainings and doing lifts and
paid off.
Push-ups, lots of push-ups. Looking good there, buddy. Okay. Yeah. So there was a lot of things. So there was a pro showcase.
There was a pro
showcase, and there was a lot of cool stuff. Jacob and Anna. Jacob with the silly ass mustache that somehow works on him.
They're from Sweden.
And Anna, the cute little itty bitty girl.
And they were in the juniors division just a couple of years ago.
Yeah. What were they? For sure.
Yeah, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
I think you're thinking of Pontus Spellman, and the dark hair, and his partner.
No.
They were in there.
I think they were in the juniors division. They're super young.
Okay, well,
Brett
Brett is in the room, and he's gonna check it up. He's gonna make sure, and we'll come back to that. But but their routine was really good because they really had a full fleshed out routine.
Yeah,
and I really liked it. I don't remember if they placed or not. I think they did, but I really enjoyed it.
For this year?
Yeah,
I think they won.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well then.
They won.
Well,
yeah.
I was there. I was at the awards, and I don't remember.
I was not at the awards, and I still know. How did that happen?
Whiskey's a thing.
I was streaming the awards live from my hotel room.
Hooray!
5 floors above.
We'll get back into that Facebook Live in just a minute. Yeah.
What was your favorite routine or competition this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, there. Damn, that's so hard because it usually takes me time after ILHC to really kind of
little time to absorb.
it. Yeah, like I don't know. Like one of them was definitely the solo contest, the prelims and finals, great. The end of the prelims of the All-Star because of that
the swing
huge
outs.
Amount of people doing swing outs all at once.
I think there were 22 couples.
Yeah. It looked amazing.
We all swung out at the same time in a giant line.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it was like a fortress. It wasn't like a line though. It was like a bunch of people everywhere just swinging.
A fortress of people
yeah,
swinging out.
Yeah,
really
because
fast.
because you and Brett got that back angle, and that was such a different perspective instead of that front angle, and it makes it feel like you're kind of in there with them. It's really impressive.
Mikey's talking about the videography, by the way.
Yeah. What did I make it sound like?
You just said that we had the back angle.
Oh yeah, well
I mean,
you know. But I think that along with, I mean, like it wasn't my favorite parts, but it kind of like sticks out in my head, like the team routines this year.
Yeah, the team routines are always impressive to watch.
They really are, and I think the top 3 people is what I would have called it. The top 3 people were third place were the Germany team, which was super cool.
What was their name again?
I don't remember. I'm just calling them Team Germany.
Okay.
But they're all German. But they had 2 cuts. They had a slow beginning.
They did.
And then they had like a faster one in the middle. And then they had a reprise at the end of the last jump. And I was impressed by all of it. Like the way they changed partners so seamlessly. And their cool ways of transitioning from one point to another.
Yeah.
Like it kept it interesting. The whole routine kind of rose, like all the energy rose, higher, and it never planed out.
No,
which is really hard to do. And then the second place was Special Delivery Stomp, which is OC, LA,
OCOG,
OC and LA, and they did really, really well. I think what they excel at is like the power moves and the transitions of using using the formations.
They do,
yeah. Those formations were solid, and I think they did very, very well. And also, of course, I mean, they're like the second generation from the other team, the Fly-Rights. Yeah. Was
the girl who ran the Fly-Rights, was she competing with them today?
No, she kind of like she still dances. She's got a degree in some kind of in the arts.
Okay.
And she moved away from Southern California, so that kind of dissolved the group.
Okay.
But then some of the members, along with new members, started Special Delivery Stomp, which is like the second generation.
Okay.
Like
Gotcha.
the love child of it, as it were. And they also did a cartwheel machine. They did. As like the Fly-Rights did the aero machine, they did the cartwheel machine.
The cartwheel machine was great. Yeah. And they also danced to the last jump.
Yes, they did. I mean, that song is so good.
Oh, man. Charlie Barnett. Also, by the way, in our last podcast, we talked about the Silver Shadows dancing. It's to the last jump. It's just the last jump.
But
by Charlie Barnett.
But I know, but they also did Rock and Rye.
I know, but it wasn't. It wasn't in the same routine.
Yes, it was because it was the dun 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 dun. Because we were talking about the evolution of Lindy Hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fake ending that they put where they took a bow and then started walking off, and then last jump started to play and they came back out. That's what happened. Trust me on this one.
Okay.
You're right. Okay. You're right. It is last jump. It's in there, but it's the reprise. It's like late. It's a little bit. Afterwards.
No, but they had another routine to Rock and Rye.
Yeah, and Karen and Andrew did both of them in that evolution.
Have you been talking about Karen and Andrew this whole time?
Yeah,
because I've been talking about the Silver Shadows this whole time.
No, they did this one. No, they did both of them, and you're like, wait, yeah, of course,
God.
But I'm talking about this one. No, I'm talking about both of them.
Oh my God, communication. You guys. What a wonder.
You guys, we like dancing with each other because we don't get each other. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Yeah. And then going back to the team.
Team Sweden.
Team Sweden.
And they were actually called Team Sweden.
They were actually called Team Sweden. And that was interesting because their technique is amazing. It's
all the Swedes, man.
All the Swedes, and they were in there, like all of them together. It was amazing.
Every single person from Sweden was actually in this routine.
Yeah, every single person. I mean, there's not that many of them, so it's just like 12.
There's only like
that's it. Like no one's in Sweden right now. If anyone wants to take it over, you can go over there right now. It's vacant. You know, Norwegians, go and reclaim your land.
Go crazy.
Yeah, go crazy. Denmark, get that little part right there. So, yeah, they came out with 2 songs as well.
Yeah, they did.
I have to admit, the first song was okay.
What was
I was like, it was good.
What was the first song?
I don't
again?
even remember it. I don't even remember.
It wasn't super fast though.
No, it wasn't super fast. But I mean, like, I could see their techniques and everything in there, and it made it look crisp. And I was like, that's awesome. That's great. I was like, And then when they kicked in with the second song, which is The Last Jump again, and yeah. Was that? No, I was wrong. My bad.
I just mad dogged Mikey.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, no, sorry. Just kidding. But it was a fast song.
It was an extremely fast song.
And but their technique stayed the same, and they were solid, and it was so good. And I was like, holy crap, that's awesome.
That song was pushing like 265, 270.
Yeah,
probably.
It was definitely over 250.
Really
it was
fast.
definitely over 250. Yeah, and they did some, and then that point too. This is the part that impressed me the most. At that part, they decided to do these crazy formations.
Yeah.
And I was like, you decided to do it on the faster part? I was like, respect.
Bitch, you cray.
Yeah. From afar, like, yo, cray.
Yo,
sweetie, you cray.
If anybody heard Mikey screaming in the back, that's what it was.
Just like the whole crowd going, oh. It's like watching a World Star video, like, oh, no, he didn't. No.
But he did.
You know? But it was insane. That was so good.
It was really impressive.
There was one little part, and I'm saying this because it's just me and you talking. No one's ever going to hear us.
No,
it's just me and
of
talking.
course not.
There was one little part where, like, they did this crazy formation and looked everything great, and then, like, two girls got on one knee and like, presented one knee, and the leaders came towards it, like, on either side. And so there was two couples doing this.
Yeah.
And then one leader went off it and did a backflip. And at the same time, the other leader was coming off of it and doing the same thing. But I think it looked like he messed up and he just, like, stood up and just, like, looked and then came back down. And I was like, what if they weren't they supposed to both do it? Like, it looked, it made me confused.
I felt confused about that moment too, and I wasn't sure what was happening. I wasn't sure if it was a mistake or not as well.
I talked to somebody else about it, and they're like, no, it was supposed to be like that. I think, but I was like, but that's the guy who usually does it, and, like, that guy I've seen do it only this year, and I'm like, that's so weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing because, I mean, he played it off very well, and then he moved into the next aerial trick, which was like a 3-person aerial thing, very seamlessly. So it didn't affect anything, and they jumped right back into it. But it was just one of those things where I was like, that's where it was like, aren't you the technique people? Like, do the backflip together.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
It looked like they were on point. It looked fine. And then it was like, nope, bail.
Man.
So it's just one of those things where I'm like, it didn't hurt them, obviously. But it was one of those things I'm saying, I'm putting out there into the universe of me and Rachel because no one will. I mean, not we're talking to the microphones or anything.
No, of course not. Of course not. Let's segue into, like, the dancing. How were the social dances for you? Did you go out dancing?
I did. I mean, the first night was really nice. I had new shoes, and so I had to get really accustomed to the floor.
Was that Thursday or Friday that you're talking about? He doesn't remember.
Everything looks the same.
Everything looks the same.
I haven't been outside in 3, 4, 5 days.
Okay, I haven't been outside once since we got here.
Exactly.
I've been in the hotel the entire time.
Exactly. You're going to be so shocked. The whole world is turned purple.
I still have a window.
That's a lie. Okay. So
you're sitting right next to it.
My back is to a wall that may or may not have a window. So if I don't turn around, I will never find out.
The entire wall is comprised of windows.
No, I don't believe this. Okay. So no, but it was really fun. So, but, like, the first night of dancing was a bit sticky for me.
Okay.
But last night was really fun. I had a blast because all my contests were done.
Yeah.
So I had a really big, like, awesome dance.
Big
blast of dance. All over everybody. And everyone felt weird, and then we all decided not to talk about it afterwards. What about you? What was your
I've been having a great time dancing.
Yeah. What happened last night? You were up late, weren't you?
I closed out the dance last night until 5:30.
Like a big person.
Like a big girl. Because okay, so people who know me well probably already know this, but people who don't know me well.
Why'd you point at me? I know
I'm not pointing. I'm just gesturing.
Okay, just
a general gesture.
Gesture.
One of the top most important and favorite things in my life is sleep. I love sleep, and I need a lot of it to survive. And On top of that,
Yeah.
I usually wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
so I can go to work, and staying up until 5:30 in the morning at an event is really hard. Staying
Yeah.
up until 2:30 in the morning is really
Yes,
hard.
it is.
When my bedtime is usually like 9 p.m.
But it's so weird when the night really begins at like 1
I know.
or after 1, I guess.
Yeah.
That was so crazy.
It makes it challenging, but no, I had a great time last night. I will say that the floor here is always super challenging for me because it's really sticky.
Yeah.
And
Consistently sticky.
I either have my Eris Allens, which are like 5 or 6 years old. You can look at them; they're right there. They're all stained and disgusting.
But they still look really nice for Eris Allens because those shoes are not very good.
Because I only wear them once a year at ILHC. But they're like all stained and gross. And then I've got my Remix heels, which I'm not super comfortable dancing in them. My foot falls asleep every time I wear them. My right foot.
That's weird.
Well, I have a lot of foot with my right. My right foot is like a troublemaker. So my foot has been hurting all weekend, which has been making it hard to dance well. But I've been still having fun. Yeah. Regardless of that.
We had some really fun dances.
We did have some fun dances
last night, and then we just continued to laugh about it afterwards.
I don't know. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't either.
But we ended up in the corner of the ballroom, and we were just like screaming and laughing maniacally at each other for like 20 minutes.
It was so good.
And to the point where people were looking at us like, what's going on over there?
Because we would go from a good
regular conversation,
like a 2
a civil adults conversation
to 10 in a matter of seconds, and then people would be like, "Oh my god!" And it was by the water thing, and
the watering hole
where everybody was going towards, and everybody was like, "Oh, okay, we gotta go, bye."
Like at one point, people were like, "Are they getting in a fight?" Like Mikey screamed at me and then stormed off and stared at me, and like everyone in the DJ booth like turned and looked like, "What's going on?" But we were just having too much fun.
Oh,
That's what it was.
So good. It was so good. It was so good. I think I was telling you that this last night as well. Like, since we're talking about the social dancing, like, social dancing is so much fun. But for me, sometimes I love to watch everybody social dance.
Yeah.
I love to get that feeling of kind of, yes, like voyeuristic type thing, like kind of looking at a dance couple having this moment together to the music, and I'm just kind of being able to watch, like lucky to be able to watch. And it's so fun for me because I get inspired by that. I get inspired by other people just dancing and having a good time. Like, that's so moving for me.
Well, and especially when you're watching two people dance and they're totally in their own world.
Yeah.
You know, they're not paying attention to anybody else who's watching them, and they're having a great time. It's very intimate to look in and watch them.
Yeah, it totally is. It totally is. And it moves me. It moves me and makes me feel good about the dance. Like I said at the very beginning, like dancing can get hard sometimes. Like, and it really shouldn't be, because there's multiple ways of doing it. You don't have to actually be doing it to be a part of it. You can be part of the audience. You can be just a spectator. You can just be socially watching somebody else, like people watching.
Yeah.
But it's people watching while people are dancing.
I think it's complicated though. People have so many emotions attached to Lindy Hop.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so many people are so invested. The community is small and tight knit, and so you can have a lot of inner conflict easily.
Oh, of course.
I think, you know.
Of course, but I in that same sense, like I feel like it becomes more of a family. Like, you're gonna piss each other off, but at the end of the day, you know, you're a part of a tradition. You're part of a legacy. You're part of a unity of a family that is gonna protect each other, gonna be good for each other. Not always gonna get along, and you don't always have to like each other, but at the same time, you're gonna respect each other in some sense, because you both want the best for this dance, and you both want it to continue. And I think that's, for me, is like the bright side of this whole weekend, and for today's podcast. Like, the bright side for me is being a part of this community doesn't always mean you have to compete.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even mean you have to dance all the time. You can facilitate. You can offer space. You can offer time to help people practice. You can coach people. You can be an audience member. You can be a cameraman, and you can upload videos to YouTube almost instantly for people to enjoy and love all around the world.
By the way, we're sitting in this hotel room having this podcast happening, and Brett is sitting right next to us uploading all of the videos from the weekend. Yeah, I can see them all
in the. Say hi, Brett.
Hi.
Say it one more time.
Hi.
Okay, that's Brett. That's Brett. He's working tirelessly. He turned around, said hi once, and then he went back and tied it. It's good. It's good. He's.
You guys, he works literally nonstop. Like he videos
from the moment we got here, because we got here in the same plane.
Yeah. He does he records everything, and then as soon as he's done, he comes back and sits in the hotel room for hours on end and is constantly uploading, editing, and our computer runs 24/7 nonstop at these workshop weekends. If he's not physically on the computer, then things are rendering or uploading, or he's just like waiting for something to be completed so he can go on to the next step.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And he really does. And the thing is, everybody, that you might not know, he actually loves this. He does. I mean, like, it's so much fun to like talk to him about like his new toys when he gets to film all this stuff. Because like, oh, I got this thing, and I got this, and I got this. Look at this, and I was like, this is so much fun. Because I'm not as much as I used to be. But I still love hearing about the AV stuff. I'm super AV geek. Like, I'm like, yay, let's do it.
And what's crazy is he takes so much video that he's working on all of these videos all year round. Like, he still has Lindy Focus videos from last year he's working on. He still has cowbell videos, inspiration.
BT Dub.
Camp Jitterbug.
There's a bunch of you out there, everybody.
There's still so much that he's working on and like slowly posting over time, because in between his regular job and his life, and then each new event that comes along.
I know for me, the thing is, people have asked me, it's like, and Brett, you don't know this. He's in the room right now again, like we're saying, so he doesn't know this. People ask me, it's like, this videographer, Brett Dahlenburg, like, you worked with him? I'm like, yes, he's the best. And he's like, but do we really need? Yes, you do. If you want your event to have nice videos and also with our shitty lighting, would like it to make it look really nice, you're gonna want him, because every video he makes comes out really nice and pristine. Like,
Brett is definitely a perfectionist. There are like several moments where throughout the weekend where he'll be like, oh my God, I forgot this thing, or it's broken, or oh my God, what's going to happen? And then he'll be like, oh wait, just kidding, I haven't. Oh wait, just kidding, it's not broken. Or he'll be like, oh wait, just kidding, I fixed it. I'm a god.
Brett, are you a god?
Yes.
Oh man. And so again, like I said, the bright side of this is everybody that takes place in this dance world is, remember, you're a part of this. Give back however you can, if you can. If you don't have the means, clap for a routine. That's all you got to do. Cheer for them, because all performers need that extra little bit from everybody else, just to go that extra little further and push that swing out even harder and even faster. What about you?
I just love coming and being inspired by people. I think this event is particularly difficult to come to because it's stressful and it's emotional for a lot of people. But when everyone goes out and lays their best shit out on the floor, it's so fun to watch. And it inspires me to improve and to do more. Yeah. Like after I left the ballroom today, I was like, oh man, I should create a team so I can have another team routine. Yeah. I should do a showcase. I should do a classic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every year. I mean, I the years I've come where I haven't done anything, I'm always like that too. I'm like, I want to do this and do this.
And like the years that I have come with team routines or been in a lot of competitions or whatever, it is very stressful. Yeah, definitely. You know, packing all of your costumes, preparing for months on end. That stuff can be hard. But, you know, like I was also working this weekend. I was helping Brett. I took some pictures.
You still danced like crazy?
I still danced like crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
it was awesome.
That's awesome. That's you and your element, and it's always really fun to see, and it's always really fun to hang out. I mean, we didn't even talk about like the what was it? The Sixpence None the Richer, 6 o'clock shadows.
Jazz at 6.
Jazz at 6. Yeah, I knew it was a 6 something.
Like, what,
We didn't even
what
talk-
are we talking about?
We didn't even talk about
It
them.
was a team routine.
Yeah, of Peter and Naomi and Remy and Elise and Sky and Ramona. And that was insane because they gave everybody blue balls when they
Whoa.
because it was just a team routine of just Jazz. And somewhere at the very beginning, like they almost about to like touch each other to go for a swing out, and they let each other go.
Okay, that was
And
the
everyone
name
went,
that was the
"Oh."
name of the game for Naomi this weekend. Did you notice
Almost
of
touched.
her like playing games with people like, and then afterwards she did a little finger waggle
Oh
like,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, no, was it? She got
Oh,
ready
she
for
like-
a turn. She got like prepped a turn, and then she
Yep.
was like,
Oh yeah, and the solo Charleston.
Yeah.
She was like, gotcha again.
yeah, that was awesome. But that's going to do it for us for this episode of the podcast. If you want to rate and review us and subscribe to us on iTunes, that would be really awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. But like, hey, leave us some messages. Maybe we'll talk about them on a recap episode or something.
Send us a question. Send us a topic you want us to talk about.
We're on Facebook. You can always send us stuff through there, or you can hit us individually on our own Facebooks or anything you see us in social media. So from ILHC, thank you guys.
We're signing off.
Bye.
Is that our official sign off?